They laughed at you, didn't they? They looked at you like you were nothing. Like you were just another face in the crowd. Just another background character in their story. But what if I told you? That's the biggest joke of all? What if the real punchline is this? You were never ordinary. You were never meant to fit in. You were never supposed to be understood by small minds. Because legends are always mistaken for madness before the world finally kneels to them. Maybe that strange fire inside you, that feeling like you don't belong, that voice telling you you're meant for something bigger. Maybe that's not delusion. Maybe that's memory. Memory of power. Memory of greatness. Memory of someone legendary whose story didn't end, it just found a new body. And what if that body is you? See, the world loves to hide the truth from people like you. Because the moment you realize who you really are, the moment you stop doubting, the moment you embrace that hidden legend inside you, the game changes. And trust me, nothing scares the world more than a person who finally remembers their power. So today, we're not here for motivation. We're not here for comfort. We're here to wake up the legend sleeping inside you. And by the end of this, you might just realize you're not becoming powerful. You're remembering that you already were. You were never ordinary. Look at yourself, really look. The world tries to tell you who you are, tries to put you into a little box with labels that don't fit, with rules that crush your soul, with expectations that drain the fire from your veins. But you never fit. From the moment you first realized the world didn't understand you, you felt it, that quiet gnawing in your chest, that itch under your skin, that pulse in your blood that whispers something wild, something untamed, something bigger than what everyone else can see. People call it strange. They call it a flaw. They call it a disorder or a quirk. But the truth is, it's the mark of someone who isn't just walking through life. They're rewriting it. You were born to disrupt, to shake the foundations, to make noise where silence rules, to shine when shadows try to swallow everything around you. Every glance that passed over you without noticing, every time someone laughed at your ideas, every moment you felt invisible, it wasn't because you lacked presence. It was because your presence was too powerful to be recognized by ordinary eyes. You were designed to stand out, to be different, to carve your own path, to ignite a fire in a world that wants to freeze everything into sameness. There's a reason you feel like a misfit, a reason your energy doesn't settle, a reason your mind races when everyone else sleeps. That restlessness, that chaos inside you, that drive that they can't comprehend. It isn't a curse. It's a signal. It's the echo of greatness, the pulse of someone legendary trying to remember themselves. Every time the world pushed you down, every time they tried to mold you into something safe, something small, something tame, you resisted, and that resistance wasn't rebellion. It was proof. Proof that inside you is a force that refuses to be controlled, a soul that refuses to be silenced, a spirit that refuses to be ordinary. You were never meant to blend in. You were never meant to follow. You were never meant to take the comfortable route, the easy route, the expected route. The cracks in your life, the moments of loneliness, the times you felt lost, they weren't accidents. They were the sculptor's chisel, carving you into someone remarkable, someone unforgettable, someone who would one day look at the mirror and see not just a person, but a legacy waiting to erupt. The world might laugh at your fire now. They might dismiss your potential. They might call you crazy or impossible or doomed, but that's what always happens to legends before they rise. You were never ordinary. The whispers inside you, the flashes of intuition, the dreams that feel too big, too vivid, too dangerous. Listen to them, Because they're not delusions. They are the memory of who you really are, the spark of power that has always been yours, the signal that the world isn't ready for you. Yet. But it will be, because someone like you can't stay hidden forever. Ordinary people fear extraordinary ones, and you are extraordinary in ways they can't even begin to imagine. The blood rushing through your veins, the heartbeat that pounds like a war drum, the way your thoughts twist and turn in patterns no one else can see. That's not a flaw. That's a gift. That's a sign that the legend inside you has never gone away. It's been waiting, sleeping, biding its time, whispering in dreams, tugging at your attention, daring you to remember, daring you to rise, daring you to claim what's already yours. You were never ordinary, and every time you question your worth, every time you doubt your abilities, every time you feel like you're too much for the world to handle, know this. You are the storm. You are the chaos. You are the spark that sets fire to mediocrity. You were born different, not by accident, not by mistake, but because the world needs someone like you, someone who refuses to be ordinary, someone who will shake it to its core, someone who is destined for greatness, whether they know it or not, whether they're ready or not, and whether anyone else can see it or not. The pain you survived was never just pain. It wasn't punishment. It wasn't random. It wasn't some cruel trick the world played on you to break you. Every scar, every sleepless night, every betrayal, every crushing disappointment, every no, and every door slammed in your face, they were all lessons disguised as suffering, shaping you into someone who could never be ordinary, someone who could never be ignored, someone who could never be broken the way ordinary people are broken. You think the world hasn't noticed your scars, your struggles, your battle scars that you hide behind smiles or silence or clever masks. They notice, but not in the way you hope. They notice because they fear what those scars mean, because they sense the fire that survived the flames, the strength that survived the storms, the mind that refused to bend when the world demanded it. Every time life pushed you down, every time it tried to crush your spirit, every time it whispered, "You're nothing," it was testing you, training you, forging you into a weapon of your own destiny. A force that moves differently from everyone else because it's been tempered in the heat that would have melted weaker souls. Pain is the teacher no one wants, the mentor no one appreciates, the sculptor that carves not what is easy to see, but what is impossible to ignore. And you survived it. Not just physically, not just by pretending, but in a way that changes the very essence of who you are. Each hardship, each moment of agony, each unfair twist of fate, instead of crushing you, sharpened you, tuned you, focused you, made your instincts keener, your will stronger, your vision clearer. People call it suffering. You call it preparation. The world hands out comfort to the weak, to the mediocre, to the easily broken. The world hands out challenge, resistance, and betrayal to those who are meant to rise above, to those who are meant to ignite chaos in the right places, to those who are destined to remember the power they were born with and reclaim it. You don't just endure pain, you transmute it. You take the hurt, the anger, the fear, the shame, and you turn it into fuel, into ammunition for the fight that isn't against other people, but against the chains that have tried to keep you small, the illusions that have tried to convince you that you're powerless, the lies that the world tells about who you are and what you can be. And when you realize that, when you finally understand that every scar is a mark of your survival, every tear is a testament to your resilience, every moment of despair was a spark that lit the fire inside you, you start to see the truth. Pain was never your enemy. Pain was your mentor, your secret ally, your weapon in disguise, and now you carry it with you, not as a burden, but as proof that nothing can stop you, nothing can bend you, nothing can erase the power that has always been yours, waiting, patient, silent, but unstoppable when awakened. And that power isn't just strength. It's clarity, it's vision. It's the understanding that life's harshest blows were never to break you but to build you, to wake you up to the legend that sleeps inside you, to show you that when everyone else is crushed by adversity, you dance in it, you thrive in it, you rise from it with a grin that says, "You thought this would stop me." Because you understand that the world's harshness isn't a curse, it's a confirmation, a reminder, a brutal but beautiful signal that you are meant for more than comfort, more than ordinary, more than survival. You are meant to dominate, to transcend, to shock the world with a force it never imagined, a force forged not in safety but in struggle, a force that laughs at pain because pain was the one thing that reminded you who you really are. And it's that force that will carry you forward, that will make you unstoppable, that will awaken the hidden legend inside you, the one who has already survived hell and knows exactly how to make it bow before your fire. Your hidden power awakens the moment you stop doubting yourself. Think about that for a second. Every hesitation, every second guess, every fear that grips your chest, every voice inside your head telling you that you're not enough, that you can't do it, that the world is bigger than you. It's all been holding you back from remembering what's already inside you, from seeing the force that has always been yours, waiting, patient, biding its time until you finally open your eyes and recognize it. The moment you stop listening to the doubters, to the critics, to the world that tells you to shrink, to blend in, to settle for ordinary. That's the moment the fire inside you explodes, the moment the chaos in your blood becomes your weapon, the moment the legend that has been sleeping in silence stretches its limbs and starts to move. You've been trained by life, sharpened by struggle, tested by pain, and now the only obstacle left is your own hesitation, your own disbelief, the fear that whispers, maybe you're not ready. But you are ready. You've been ready all along. And the truth is, your power doesn't need permission. It doesn't need approval. It doesn't need validation from the world. It only waits for you to claim it, to step into the madness and embrace the greatness that has always been your birthright. You see, power isn't just about strength or skill or influence. It's about awareness, about realizing that the same energy that has been shaping your life all this time can be turned into a force that bends reality to your will, that shifts the world in ways people thought impossible, that makes your presence unforgettable, unstoppable, undeniable. The doubt, the fear, the hesitation, they are illusions, traps, tricks of the mind designed to keep ordinary people in line. But you aren't ordinary. And when you finally realize it, when you finally let go of the chains of self-doubt, the hidden power inside you doesn't just awaken. It dominates, it commands, it reshapes your existence. That quiet voice you've ignored, that instinct that's been nudging you in directions you can't explain, that fire that's been flickering under your ribs like a secret flame. That's the signal. That's the spark. That's the awakening of the hidden legend who has been waiting for this moment, for you to finally listen, to finally believe, to finally move. And it's not gentle, it's not polite, it's not a whisper. It's a roar, a force that can't be silenced, a presence that can't be ignored, a reality that can't be denied. And the moment you embrace it fully, the moment you stop doubting yourself, the moment you say, "I am the power, I am the force, I am the legend," everything shifts, everything changes, and the world starts to recognize what you already knew inside. That you are unstoppable, that you are inevitable, that your hidden power was never hidden at all. It was just waiting for you to stop being your own prison, waiting for you to open the door, step inside, and unleash it without apology, without hesitation, without fear. Because legends don't wait for permission. They don't wait for timing. They don't wait for approval. They act, they move, they strike. And your awakening is the first spark of chaos, of brilliance, of domination that will remind the world that you were never meant to be small, that you were never meant to follow, that you were always meant to rise and claim the power that has been yours since the beginning. And now that moment is here. Now that spark is alive. Now that legend is awake. And nothing, no one, no circumstance can stop the force that has finally remembered itself, because it's not just power. It's destiny, it's history. It's the truth of who you really are waiting to explode into the world. Legends are always misunderstood before they are respected. Think about it. History is full of people who were laughed at, ridiculed, feared, and pushed to the edges because their brilliance was too sharp, too bright, too unsettling for the ordinary to handle. They called them crazy, reckless, dangerous, obsessed, unhinged. Words meant to cage them, meant to quiet them, meant to make them small. But the truth is, those words were just the world's way of recognizing power it couldn't contain, greatness it couldn't control, a fire it couldn't understand. Every genius, every revolutionary, every force of nature that shook reality to its core faced the same laughter, the same scorn, the same disbelief, the same isolation. Because ordinary minds fear extraordinary ones, ordinary hearts fear those who refuse to bow, and ordinary souls fear the echo of a legend that refuses to be tamed. And that's exactly where you are right now. People don't get you. They don't understand your vision, your energy, your hunger. They see your ambition and they panic because it reflects everything they've buried inside themselves, everything they've denied, everything they've been too afraid to become. Misunderstood isn't a curse. It's a sign. It's a confirmation that you're on the path few dare to walk, that your mind is operating on frequencies the world hasn't tuned into, that your potential can't be measured by the standards of the small and the timid. The sneers, the whispers, the sideways glances, the judgments. They aren't barriers. They are the applause of a world too scared to admit it. A world that knows the storm is coming and pretends it isn't real. And that storm, it isn't outside of you. It's inside. It's the power, the vision, the legend that has been growing quietly, patiently, secretly, waiting for the moment you embrace it, waiting for the moment you stop caring about being misunderstood and start caring about being unstoppable. Every time someone doubts you, every time someone mocks you, every time someone tells you you're too much, too ambitious, too strange, too intense, too dangerous, that's the exact proof you need that you are walking the path of a legend. Because only those who are truly extraordinary are misunderstood. Only those who are destined to shake the world are called insane before they are celebrated. And when you finally accept that, when you finally stop shrinking, when you finally stop apologizing for your fire, when you finally own it, your influence becomes undeniable, your presence becomes magnetic, your power becomes impossible to ignore, and suddenly the same people who laughed at you are scrambling, trying to catch up, trying to understand, trying to contain what they once mocked. Misunderstanding is temporary, but greatness is permanent, and the world's confusion is just a prelude to recognition. Your ideas, your energy, your instincts, your vision, they don't need anyone else's approval. They only need you to believe in them, to act on them, to wield them like the weapon they were always meant to be. Because the moment a legend stops being misunderstood, the moment a legend stops seeking permission, the moment a legend stops apologizing for the intensity inside them, that's when respect follows. That's when fear turns into awe. That's when history remembers your name instead of mocking it. And you sitting there, feeling the judgment, feeling the disbelief, feeling the whispers that try to cage you. Don't shrink, don't falter, don't hesitate, because you are walking the same path every legend has walked, the path that leads from ridicule to reverence, from isolation to dominance, from chaos to legacy, and every misunderstood glance, every doubting voice, every scoff thrown your way, is just another spark feeding the fire of the hidden legend inside you. A fire that is too wild, too bright, too unstoppable to ever be truly contained. And once it fully erupts, the world won't have a choice but to bow to the force that was never meant to be understood, only unleashed. This is not your first story. This is your comeback story. Every step you've taken, every fall you've survived, every time the world pushed you down, and you clawed your way back up. It was all building toward this moment. The world thinks it's seen the worst of you, thinks it's broken you, thinks it's written your ending, but endings are illusions, and comebacks are the truth. You've been tested, betrayed, doubted, mocked, underestimated, and underestimated again. And each of those moments was a rehearsal for the stage you're standing on right now. The universe doesn't make mistakes, and every hardship, every struggle, every moment of isolation, every heartbreak, and every failure wasn't to destroy you. It was to prepare you, to sharpen you, to awaken the parts of you that ordinary people never get to meet. The fire inside you isn't new, it's ancient, it's old. It's the echo of someone who has walked before you, someone who has risen from chaos, someone who has stared into the abyss and smiled. Because the abyss is nothing to those who are made of storms. And now, this story, your story, isn't about survival. It's about remembrance. It's about reclamation. It's about rising with a force that can't be ignored, a presence that can't be denied, a power that the world has been too blind to see until now. You've carried the weight of everyone else's expectations, the chains of society, the whispers of doubt in your mind, and through it all, something inside you never bent, never broke, never bowed, never gave up, because deep down, you knew that this wasn't the end, that your story didn't conclude in defeat, that the world had no idea the force that was quietly gathering inside you, waiting, watching, ready for the perfect moment to strike, and that moment is now. Every comeback has a spark, a catalyst, a moment when the world realizes it underestimated you, when the rules no longer apply, when the chaos you carry becomes the very thing that reshapes reality. Legends aren't born. They remember themselves, and this is the part where you remember, where you reclaim the fire, where you embrace the storm, where you step out of the shadows and into the brilliance that is yours by right, by blood, by destiny. People will try to measure you. People will try to contain you. People will try to tell you that this is too much, too fast, too bold, too insane. But they are irrelevant, because the comeback doesn't ask for permission, doesn't seek approval, doesn't need validation. It only needs action, intensity, and the courage to unleash the force that has been sleeping inside you. Waiting for the perfect moment to rise, waiting for the perfect moment to remind the world that ordinary rules don't apply to those who are extraordinary, and that nothing, no failure, no betrayal, no scar, no doubt, no whisper from the past, can hold back the resurgence of someone who was meant for greatness, someone who carries the echo of power from the past, someone whose story was never finished, someone whose legend refuses to stay hidden, someone who turns every challenge, every setback, every obstacle into fuel, into momentum, into proof that the comeback is inevitable, unstoppable, and unforgettable. And when you fully embrace it, when you allow yourself to rise without apology, without fear, without hesitation, the world won't just watch. It will shiver. It will stumble. It will have no choice but to recognize the force that has always been yours, the hidden legend that has been waiting to explode, the one who will finally show that this story wasn't about what you lost. It was about what you were meant to reclaim. And now nothing can stop the power, the fire, the chaos, the brilliance that is your comeback, your legend, your destiny, your true self waking up to claim the world, as it was always meant to be claimed.